Hello and welcome to Verbling. For the next hour, we are going to be looking at something called the subjunctive mood in English. Now, it's a wee bit esoteric because you have to wrap your head around the imaginary, the fantastic, the unreal. And as far as English is concerned, the use of the subjunctive is not, the rules are not very concrete. In fact, English is an evolving language. All language evolves and changes. And this is one of the more controversial points of English. When is it appropriate to use the subjunctive and when it is not? The problem is the rules are not clear, but let's see if we can today discover some guidelines at least to give us some idea of what the subjunctive is and when it is appropriate. We'll look at examples. We'll also, try to form our own sentences and see if we can figure this out together. Hello, Heidi, again.
Hello, nice to see you again.
Likewise, welcome. And also, hello, Daniel.
Hey, good to see you again.
Hello. And welcome to the class. Okay, guys, we're going to talk about the subjunctive mood. Mood. What is a mood? What is a mood? What is a mood? A mood, Heidi?
A feeling or
yeah.
Atmosphere inside your mind.
Yeah, very good. Atmosphere inside your mind. That's pretty good. You're angry. I am in an angry mood. I'm in a lonely feeling mood. That's right. But when it comes to language, it is kind of similar. It is kind of concerned with the atmosphere. Very good word that you're trying to project with the language. Excellent. So I'm going to do a screen share and introduce you to the moods of English. And just a second after I quickly welcome Miguel. Hello, Miguel. Hi, Miguel. Miguel, sorry to say, can't hear you. So I'm not sure if there's a microphone problem or connection. Yeah, hopefully he'll come back. Come back, Miguel. Try again. A lot of times just leaving the class and coming back can fix the problem. Welcome back, Carolina. Hi there.
Hi, teacher. How are you?
I'm good. Again, still. Whatever. And also, Alan has joined us. Hello, Alan.
Hi, teacher. How are you?
Doing all right. Thank you. Welcome to the class. Miguel, check one, check one.
Yes, I'm here.
There we go. We're good. Okay, very good. Hi, Miguel, and welcome. Okay. All right. I'm going to do a screen share here and talk about moods in English. Okay. Mood, as you can see, is a form a verb takes to show how it should be regarded as a fact, a command, a certainty, or an uncertainty, as something hypothetical, meaning not factual. All right, there are three major moods in English. The indicative mood. This is what we probably use in normal conversation most of the time. This is the mood that is used. If I had to guess, I'd say 90% of all English speech and writing is in the indicative mood. This states facts, questions, things like that. Okay. All right, a couple of others have joined us. Welcome to the class, Anna Christina. Hello again.
Hello, teacher. Nice to see you again.
Okay, welcome. And Sun, hello, Sun. Welcome.
Yeah, hello, teacher.
Hello. Good to see you again.
Yeah, see you.
Okay. The indicative mood. Facts or questions. For example, what? Can you give me an example of the indicative mood? Any sentence. Keep it simple. Everyone should be able to do this. Real quick. Heidi, indicative mood.
Indicative mood.
Yeah, a sentence.
Sentence.
Yeah,
Using.
the indicative mood.
His face. I can see his from his facial expression, kind of indicative mood.
Okay, wait. Let me give you some examples. Very simple. Keep it simple. They are playing the guitar. Are they playing the guitar? Basically, all sentences that are normal in English are indicative. I like bananas. The pencil is yellow. I sleep a lot on the weekend. English is 90% at least the indicative mood. That's what I was getting at. Okay, let's just continue. The imperative mood, or command sentences, command and request sentences. In this type of sentence, in the indicative mood, it's always very obvious, the subject, noun, and the verb. It's they are playing guitar. Who's doing it? They are. Or in a passive, the guitar is being played. Fine. It's very obvious what the subject noun is. In the imperative, this is a command sentence. Play the guitar. Maybe more politely, please play the guitar. Notice what's missing from these sentences. Daniel, what's missing? Play the guitar. What's missing in the imperative that you see in the indicative? Do you know?
No.
Okay, let me throw it out to the class. What's missing from this sentence that is different from they are playing the guitar and play the guitar? Anyone?
The subject.
Yes. There's no subject noun in the imperative mood. The imperative are when we give commands or requests, we don't use a subject because we're speaking to someone directly. The subject is automatically assumed by the speaker and the listener to be you. So if I say, clean your room, and I'm talking to you, the subject is implied as you because I'm talking to you. Okay, that's it. The imperative mood, when we give commands or possibly make requests, please play the guitar is a request. So we don't need a subject noun for the imperative mood. It is there, but it is implied. It's implicit in this type of sentence. So that's the imperative. Okay, and today's lesson is about the subjunctive mood. Much more difficult to grasp. The indicative is pretty simple. Just everything. Questions and statements, negative or positive, doesn't matter. Commands, very easy to figure out. Now, today we're going to talk about the subjunctive mood. It shows a wish, a doubt. I'll give you a better definition in a minute. I suggest that Lee play the guitar. Guitar. Okay. If I were Lee, I would play the guitar. What is going on here with a couple of these sentences, the verb, notice the verb being highlighted here. There's a little bit of strange activity going on with these verbs. Notice the be asked to play the guitar. Not I propose that Lee is asked to play the guitar. It's not the simple verb to be, but rather the infinitive form. Notice in the third example, it's not if I was Lee, I would play the guitar. Okay, it's past tense. I was Lee would be the simple present tense, which we would normally use in the indicative mood. The subjunctive mood does weird things to the verb because it's unreal, because it's hypothetical. Okay, let's look at some more examples. Let's look at another, I know it's hard to wrap your head around this, so I'm going to give you another definition and then a lot of examples, and we're going to try to practice making our own subjunctive mood sentences. Okay, a little more detailed definition. The subjunctive mood can be used to express a wish, a suggestion, maybe a command if it's a hypothetical command, a condition contrary to the fact. Okay, various states of unreality, a wish, an emotion, a possibility, judgment, opinion, an action that has not yet occurred. Okay, in your own language, the precise situation in which they are used, maybe your own language has a subjunctive form. Wrap your head around this. The precise situations, like wishes or possibility or an action not yet occurred, are different from language to language. All right, so you may already have to deal with a subjunctive form in your own native language. It may be different in English. Please keep that idea in mind. Okay, let's take it from Wikipedia here. This is the definition from Wikipedia, by the way. All right, let's look at examples, see if this helps us. The form, let me quickly welcome Talal to the class. Hello, Talal. Hi.
Hi, teacher.
Hello, welcome. Okay, let's look at some examples and see if we can practice. The form of a verb in the... Uh-oh. I seem to have a connection problem. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, teacher.
Yeah?
teacher.
Yes.
Yeah, we hear you.
Okay. That's strange. Okay. If I suddenly disappear, I'll be right back, I hope. All right. The form of a verb in the subjunctive may be different from the indicative. For example, very straight indicative mood. I was in your position 2 years ago. Okay, this is a statement of fact. Simple subject, verb, normal agreement, not subjunctive. In the subjunctive mood, if I were in your position, I would do the same. Does anybody know, open question for the class, does anybody know what type of sentence this is? This is a specific type of sentence. Very specific.
Conditional.
Yes,
Conditional too.
that is very
Second
very
part.
good. And yes, even better. It's a conditional, and yes, Heidi, even more specifically, it is the second conditional. That is correct, which is the hypothetical. Occasionally, you may even hear it called the subjunctive conditional. I've seen that before in textbooks. Notice the change in the verb to be to past tense, and not only that, we've conjugated the verb as if it were a plural. It doesn't matter what our subject would be, the verb to be is going to change to were. If I were, if he were, if they were. Of course, if he were in your position, he would do the same. If they were in your position, they would do the same. Of course, we change the pronoun in the result clause as well. But notice how we're stuck with were as the verb to be. Any other verb, if I went to Harvard, I would have a better education. If it's not the verb to be, whatever the verb is still going to be in the past tense. In this case, the subjunctive mood is pretty solid. This is a rule with a conditional sentence of this nature. This one you can count on. Other uses of the subjunctive, not so clear. This one is very, very clear and consistent and solid as a rule. Can you? Let's see if you guys can give me a second conditional to demonstrate this past tense use, the change to the past tense. Okay. Who's here? Miguel, I'm going to start with you and work my way around here. Miguel?
Yes, I'm here. So,
okay, can you give me an example?
Second condition.
Yeah, using this as a model, this one here.
Okay. If I work in your home, I
What?
would do in your home.
In what? I can't hear you.
Your home.
In your home. Okay.
Sorry.
Yes, it's okay.
I would sleep.
I would sleep. Okay. Oh, that's a crazy one, but okay, that's fine. Notice use of would also. Subjunctive sentences, hypothetical ideas, we use would. Okay. Instead of will. This is also a consistent rule. If an idea is not a fact, we are going to use would instead of will. Okay. Carolina, can you try one of these sentences?
If I were in Italy, I could learn Italian.
I could what?
I could learn Italian.
Learn Italian?
Uh-huh.
Okay. I guess this is possible. I could or would?
Good.
Would is better. Yeah. Okay, there you go. Very good. Using the subjunctive would. Okay. Yes. Alan, you want to try? You don't. Yeah, whatever. Okay.
Okay. If I joined to the gym the last year, I would be without my t-shirt right now. Without my t-shirt.
My T-shirt. Okay. Okay. Now. All right, Alan. There's some problems with this. First of all, you are actually talking about last year. You're actually talking about the past. In these earlier examples, if I were in your home, that what you're really asking, if I was in your home right now, I would sleep. But I'm not, so we use this past tense. When we're using the second conditional, if I were in Italy, I would learn Italian. We're actually talking about now or the future. You are talking about the past, clearly, because you mentioned last year. In this case, we can't actually do it like this. It would have to be a hypothetical about the past. If I had joined, and by the way, we can't say to the gym because you're not going anywhere. To means motion from one place to another. So there's no motion there. Simply, if I had joined the gym last year. Okay, in the result clause, I would have been. I would have been without my t-shirt right now. Okay, if you're making a hypothetical, which is a subjunctive, about the past, you use, this is called the third conditional. All right, everything's imaginary because, of course, history is history and we can't change the past. So we know that this is all just imaginary. But we're going to use past perfect in the if clause to make it more in the past. And again, still with would, but we'll use what's called a perfect modal, would have been.
Okay.
This is the third conditional. Okay. Okay, Anna Christina, you don't have to use I. You can use any subject noun you want to. You can use I if you want to, but can you give me either a second or a third conditional? They're both subjunctive. They're both imaginary.
If I were a rich person, I would help the poor families.
Okay. Very good. You've definitely got the idea of the subjunctive mood in the second conditional. That's great. Anna Christina, however, if you're talking about poor families in general, families are countable, 1 family, 2 families, 3 families. We don't need to use the to talk about them in general. You don't need an article. I like bananas. I don't have to say I like the bananas. I'm not talking about any specific group of bananas. Just bananas in general, poor families in general. Okay, very good. Do you know the play Fiddler on the Roof? No?
No.
The theater play? Okay. I thought you were going to start singing it there. If I were a rich man. Okay. Anyway, Son, can you give me an example?
If I were a singer, a famous singer, I would sing the lot of songs I can. I could.
Okay. I would sing love songs? Sure you would.
I would sing as many songs I could.
Okay. As many songs. Okay. If you're going to use this construction, Son, as many songs as I could. Like that. The as. As often as possible. As many as I can.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Notice as I could. Also, okay, this is actually even when he uses this this type of adjective clause, and notice that even the could here is past tense, which is correct, by the way. Son, be careful about this G sound. Singer. There's no ga. Not finger. All right?
Singer. Yeah,
That's it.
Singer.
That was perfect. Absolutely perfect. Thank you. Okay. Very good. Talal, you want to give this a shot?
Yeah. If I were in London, I would watch a soccer game or Stadium Emirates.
Okay. I would watch a soccer game. I don't know where.
Stadium Emirates or Arsenal Stadium.
Okay. At
Arsenal
Yeah, that's
Stadium.
it. Arsenal Stadium. Okay. All right. Fine. Okay. Very good. Obviously, again, you're talking about if I were in London right now. Okay, Heidi?
This is only for the conditionals.
Yeah, we're only looking at the conditionals. We're going to look at a lot of other things in the next 30 minutes.
For example, wonder or something. No, I wonder. No, it is not subjunctive.
Yeah, we're going to be doing that in just a minute.
Okay.
We're getting to that. I want to look at the very most basic, easy to understand one first, so people have a chance to wrap their head around the idea. I got to go slow. We can't just jump into that. Okay, Heidi, go ahead.
If he hadn't been in the party last year, he would still have been. I'm not so sure where I need to put still. He would.
You had it right. That's right.
He would still have been a stranger for me.
Okay, now the third conditional here, the verbs are all good. I just want to correct a couple prepositions. If he hadn't been, instead of in the party, at the party. Unless you're talking about a political party. But I think you're talking about a woo-woo party. Right? Right? You're talking about a party celebration.
Yeah.
Okay, so then you're at the party. If you're talking about a political party, then it would be in the party because you are a member, you're in the club, you're in the party. Okay, he would still have been a stranger for me, stranger to me. This is just the simple, the collocation, a stranger. He's a stranger to me. Okay, this is the very, probably most common use of the subjunctive mood in the second and third conditional, where we have to really be cognizant of the shift in the verb tenses. Now, as Heidi was hinting at, there's a lot more uses of the subjunctive, which she wanted to get to. Okay. I wish. All right, use of I wish. This is a tough one because here is the subjunctive mood. The simple indicative mood would be, obviously would use the subject noun and was. It being singular. I wish it were still in use. Okay, instead of was. When you use wish, technically speaking, grammatically speaking, you need to backshift your verb. Okay? I wish I were in Spain right now. For example. Many people, now I have to be fair about it and tell you that native speakers in English don't always follow this rule. The earlier rule that I showed you with the conditional sentences, native speakers strictly follow those rules that in the second and third conditional. I wish, all right, if you look in a grammar textbook, they're going to show you this, what's called backshift, to make the verb more past tense. Here is another. Okay, so this is one. Here's another one. The board recommended that the motion be passed immediately instead of is passed. All right. It recommended. It hasn't happened yet. It's a recommendation. So it's a suggestion about the future. We don't know if it's going to happen or not. It's not conclusive. It's not a fact yet. Okay, so instead of is past, we use this kind of infinitive of the form of the verb to be. This may also be used with different verbs, not just I wish, but board recommended. Can anybody think of other verbs where this might be a similar circumstance? Instead of recommended, other similar verbs to recommended? Anyone? Open question.
Suggest.
Thank you.
Advise.
Yes, very good. Excellent. Recommend, advise, suggest. Okay. Yes, that's the idea. This may come into play. Okay. We may work our way back and play around with these, but I want to introduce them to you first. Here it is with suggest. Same idea. She suggests that Mark work full-time from Saturday. Okay, so here what happens is normally, you know, if I just cut this sentence off in the indicative, Mark works full-time on Saturday, whatever. Subject-verb agreement, or, you know, the conjugation of the verb can also change with the subjunctive. So this different form of this last half of the sentence, same idea with the verb recommend, suggest, advise. It would be the same thing. She recommended that Mark work. She suggests, she advised that Mark work. The same thing would happen to this verb. Okay. Here's another example, very close to the same idea. He said it was essential that Johann guard the box, not Johann guards the box. He said that it was essential or necessary that Johann guard the box. So you also, indeed, not only do you have to concern yourself with this backshift, and I wish, the subjunctive does other weird things. It can affect these, the conjugation of the verb. Here's another example. It is imperative that the game begin at once. Now, frankly, this is a little bit more formal, this last example, and the last two examples, the last three examples. In the last three examples here, whether you're going to conjugate the verb work or works, guard or guards, begin or begins, honestly, this is not really a strong grammar rule, and in informal speech, normal conversation, to be honest, native speakers would never bother to do this. Well, she suggested that Mark works full-time on Saturday. Okay, I would use works in a normal way. I would expect to see this in much more formal circumstances, like writing. If somebody wrote me a letter or an email and saying, you know, whatever, the CEO or the manager is requesting some action, I would expect to see this subjunctive mood form. This would be what I would consider that normal. Basically, a command, or in business, in an official document or email, I would expect to see this happen. To be honest with you guys, in regular spoken English, again, I would expect to hear those conditionals in the proper form. These types of things, I honestly would not expect it. Frankly, I would expect the opposite. So a little bit of a blurry line. It's a little bit of a gray area in English with these last bunch of examples here. That's why I kind of wanted to separate the lesson to show you the conditionals first, because this is a blurry line here. In formal writing, for example, it's expected. In normal speech, it's not. Okay, well, here it describes that through common usage, that is to say colloquial or conversational usage. The non-subjunctive forms of verbs are gradually replacing the subjunctive forms. English is evolving, and it is becoming less and less common to hear these subjunctive forms in spoken language for this last series that I'm introducing you to. Sometimes it just sounds wrong. Okay. Okay, in summary, all right. Okay, let's look at this little chart. The verb is non-subjunctive form or indicative. You can substitute indicative in this little table for non-subjunctive. That's what they're talking about, indicative form. He is allowed is obviously the way we normally say this in English. Subjunctive form, the verb is changes to be. It is essential he be allowed. Was, non-subjunctive. I was ordered. Subjunctive form, were. If I were ordered, I'd go. Now this, again, the conditionals are strong grammar rules. Present tense verb in the third person singular. He cooks. I wish that he cook. All right, you can see what's going on here. All right, we're going to practice this, but just to give you another clue as to what happens, the following verbs often attract the subjunctive mood because of the meaning of the verb and because you're talking about unreal. The verbs are used to talk about something that hasn't happened yet, like ask, command, demand, insist, order, recommend, suggest, and wish. Often these verbs, I guess, attract. They kind of are often used with these subjunctive mood shifts. Okay, and sometimes in conjunction with these verbs, mostly it's important to think about the verbs, but also you can think about the adjectives. Crucial, essential. Okay, notice these these are very formal adjectives. It goes right along with my idea that I really trying to get across to you. We use the subjunctive mood in these non-conditional sentences, usually very formally. Okay, and these are all formal, very formal adjectives. Crucial, that you would see in a business document, in a business email. Essential. It is essential that the supplies be shipped by Tuesday at the latest. It is imperative that refund be implemented as soon as possible. I definitely would expect to see this in business writing. These adjectives Okay, yes, they attract the subjunctive mood because they're all quite formal. Okay, let's well, actually, let's give it a try. Actually, I want to do an exercise. Maybe we can come back and try forming our own sentences, but let me try doing an exercise with you guys first. I just want to try to make sure we do this before time runs out. So let's look at an exercise. What verb or verb string completes the sentence best? Caution, be aware the subjunctive form will not be the best choice in all sentences. All right, so there are some trick sentences here. Let's give this a try. Okay, Heidi, number one. Heidi, are you there? Hello? Can you guys hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. I
Yes,
keep
teacher,
getting...
I can hear you.
Yeah, my computer's telling me I'm not connected to the internet for some reason. But obviously, unless there's some kind of magical situation going on, I am. Okay, I guess I'll come back to Heidi. Miguel, number one.
Okay. It is very important that all employees in their proper or uniform before say past half a.m. 6 past half a.m. Okay.
6:30. 6:30.
Okay, 6:30.
Okay. Which is the best choice?
I think C, this dress.
Yes. This sounds very important and official and formal. Yes, this looks like an official business notification, right? So I would agree with Miguel here. Much more formally, this is like a command, an official command from some authority. We're often going to use this be dressed, this verb to be. You will often see that in such cases. All right, Carolina, 2.
I wish my brother were here.
Officially, yes, that you are correct. I wish my brother were here. Yes. Again, I want to stress that in normal, colloquial, conversational English, it would be very normal to hear an American or a Brit or an Australian say, I wish my brother was here. I know what my brother would say if he were here. So, you know, it's very spotty. Okay, I know what my brother would say, subjunctive, if he were here. You would definitely, in this case, use were, because it's very obviously hypothetical. I don't know. Okay, to be correct, you're absolutely correct if you use were, however. You can't be wrong. That's the rule. That's the actual grammar rule. Okay, Alan, number 3.
Okay. The coach insisted that Fabio play the center position, even though he's much too short for that position.
Stupid coach. Yeah, so you picked B, play.
Mhm.
Yeah, all right. Yes, we see insisted. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Absolutely, you're absolutely correct. So there you go with the change in conjugation of the verb. Very good. Anna Christina, number 4.
Evelyn Humita moved that the meeting was adjourned.
Nice try, but no, definitely she moved that the meeting be adjourned. There may be some. What does that mean? She moved.
Maybe has a she has a, I don't know how to say, he has a
Okay.
problem in the he can't go to the work because she.
No, let me stop you. You're way off. Way off. Way off. This verb moved here is referring to an extremely formal meeting. Sometimes government meeting, but often in a formal business meeting. If I want to make a suggestion in a formal business meeting, the verb is I move. I move that we take a vote on measure 31A. Someone else in the meeting will say, I second that motion. The chairman will say, okay, all in favor of adjunct proposition 31A, please say aye. Everyone says aye. All in favor say nay. There is very formal language in business meetings. To move in a business meeting means to make a recognized suggestion. All right. So again, with a suggestion. But it is an extremely formal verb. It has to do with very specifically formal meetings. And the meeting was adjourned. The meeting would be closed. So, okay, moved basically is very close to the meaning of suggestion and obviously extremely formal as it gets. So definitely we're going to use the subjunctive here. Okay. Moving on. Son, you want to try number 5?
Yeah. My mother would know what to do. Oh, good that she were here with us now.
Okay. My mother would know what to do. Notice when we use would, we use any modal verb, would, could, should, can, will. That the verb will never be in the past tense. It would be simple present, not would, knew. It's always going to be the simple present or the infinitive form. You can't have any other weird forms of verbs. Okay, so the would itself indicates the subjunctive. However, we've broken it up here. Oh, would that she were here with us now. Yeah, you are right. This is likely going to be, again, subjunctive. Very poetical statement here. All right. Okay. Next one, Talal. Can you try this one?
Yes. If only Johan
Yeah, Jughead.
a little more responsible in his choice, of course. Where? I don't know. B.
B, if only Jughead were a little more responsible in his choice of courses. Okay, the meaning here is that it's quite obviously that Jughead is not responsible. So it is obviously completely hypothetical. Hello? Oh, okay. Yes, so that's right. If only Jughead were a little more responsible in his choice of courses. Yes, again, subjunctive rather. Okay. Yes, obviously a hypothetical statement. Heidi, are you?
Yeah.
Are you? There we go. Okay, good. Okay, number 7.
If Mrs. Lincoln had been ill that night, the Lincolns would not have gone to Ford Theater.
Yeah, Ford Theater. Yeah. What happened at Ford Theater? You are absolutely correct. The third conditional. Very good. You got it right.
They participated in the Ford Theater because Mrs. Lincoln was healthy last night.
What happened in real life?
Realized that she was okay.
She was okay, and what happened to the Lincolns at the Ford Theater? Do you know? A little trivia, American history trivia.
Oh, so Lincoln was shot?
Yes, he was at the Ford Theater. That's right. That's right. So obviously a hypothetical in the past, right? She wasn't sick and he was killed. All because she wasn't sick. No, obviously not. But okay, just pointing out that. All right. That's not what happened. Miguel, number 8.
Okay. Her employees rated Mr. Greenblatt as she were a queen.
This is a tough one. Okay. All right. She's obviously Mrs. Greenblatt a queen? Really? In real life? Miguel?
No. Yes, I'm here.
You don't know. You don't know. Okay. Oh well, yeah. Okay, that's fair. You don't know, and neither do I. Really. Okay. She has employees, not subjects. That suggests to me that she's not, in fact, an actual queen. Okay, this is a tough one because she's not obviously really a queen. So that means it's hypothetical the way they treat her. This is tough. Her employees treated Mrs. Greenblatt as though she was a queen, as though she were a queen. Here's a case where I've heard this expression as though she were royalty, as though she was royalty. I've heard it both ways, frankly, but I think that it should be subjunctive. I've heard this phrase, native speakers use this phrase as though she were something, even though she's not, to mean like, as though, like she was royalty. Strangely, colloquially, if instead of as though, her employees treated Mrs. Greenblatt like she was a queen, I definitely would collocate like with was, and to heck with the subjunctive. Okay? This is an interesting tipping point here. All right? When I use the more informal like she was a, don't treat me like I am a dog. Don't treat me like I'm a dog. All right? When I use that informal like, I would tend to use the normal indicative. All right? Don't treat me as though I were a dog. If I use that much more formal sounding as though, I would tend to use the subjunctive mood, strangely enough. I can say that honestly about myself as a native speaker. When it tends to be more formal, I'm going to tend to use subjunctive. And when it's less formal, I'm not going to bother. He treats me like a dog. Okay. Yeah, I'm not going to say he treats me like I were a dog. Okay. Next one. Carolina? Number 9.
If his parents had been more careful in his upbringing, Holden's Caulfield would have been quite different.
Okay, very good. Right, and again with the third conditional here. Very good, pretty straightforward. Who's Holden Caulfield? Carolina, do you know?
No, teacher, I don't know.
Does anybody
Maybe a
know?
magician? I don't know.
Does anybody know who Holden Caulfield is? No? Okay. Holden Caulfield is the main character of a book called The Catcher and the Rye. The Catcher in the Rye by J.D. Salinger, a pretty famous American novel. Okay. Alan, number 10.
I wish I feel better today.
Nope. Felt. Definitely felt. This is a pretty standard kind of sentence, the whole thing. A very normal spoken English sentence. I wish I felt better today, and definitely you would use back shift for the subjunctive. Okay. Notice, however, when we change it, I know we're over time already, but okay. Which one would I use? Feel or felt in this next sentence? Using I hope. Anybody?
Feel.
I hope I feel better later. Yeah, I agree. I hope I feel better later. Okay. There's definitely a difference in subjunctive mood with wish and hope. Hope is the action, is almost like an action you're taking right now. So we use indicative. But wish is always subjunctive. That's a useful, helpful hint when you're dealing with those two verbs. Hope is considered more indicative, and wish is pretty much always subjunctive. Okay, I hope at least you got some idea of the subjunctive mood today. Thank you for your attention and your participation. I'll see you all again real soon, I hope. I
Thank
hope.
you, teacher.